We do not know what our chances of survival are, so we fight as if they were zero. Hello everyone, this is your host Legend, and welcome back to my channel. I know I'm a little late to the party, but recently patch 1.39 dropped. It's bringing us 2 new full-fledged units, a new machine of war, a new survival event, new campaign event, and so much more. As we all are very well aware, Lionel Johnson is coming to the game and is slated to be a very challenging fight. We got Cyrus of the Blood Ravens as a collab from Dawn of War alongside the Necron Chronomancer. I'm being honest, I don't know how to say this one. I'll give it my best shot. Thothmek? I don't know. Anyways, that's beside the point. These are kind of like the highlights of the patch, if you ask me, so we're going to take a quick moment to discuss them. Without further ado, let's get right into this. We're going to start with the new characters, since I want to save discussion about Lionel Johnson for last. Starting with Cyrus, who I definitely have a lot more time playing with thanks to the survival event. I think he's quite fun, honestly. He's got an interesting kit, and like usual, the Snowprint art team has done a great job on making the model. We'll just take a quick moment to appreciate the art style. Parts of Cyrus' kit reminds me a lot of Calandus, but definitely feels a lot better. Starting with his active ability, Strike from the Shadows, he basically deals a normal ranged attack that ignores some armor and allows him to move after the fact. It plays well into his passive ability, which from what I've played doesn't feel too impactful, but I definitely can see its uses. His passive ability is Haywire Mine. When Cyrus moves or makes an attack, he'll leave a mine nearby or on the hex he just left. That'll do some good damage if an enemy were to happen to step on it. Being realistic, this isn't going to be very impactful in Tournament Arena. He's not going to really be a PvP style character. It could be useful for getting some chip damage in normal arena, but I don't think that's where it's going to shine. I don't think it's too much of a surprise to say Cyrus is going to probably shine in LREs and other horde-based modes. Haywire Mine has a much better use case there, and his ability to move twice in one turn allows you to rapidly deploy multiple. In spite of using a bolter, the damage profile is actually quite good from what I've experienced in the survival event, though I'll be the first to say it, I need to do more testing. With him being movement 3 and range 3, he's a good sniper unit, and I think Snowprint has done a good job. I don't think he's going to be too overbearing, but I don't think he's going to be weak either. Overall, he's going to be a very solid character, with his main utility, I think, coming from his active, whereas his passive will be kind of hit or miss and situational, but definitely can be useful in an LRE. Thothmek has some interesting abilities. I think his active ability is just kind of alright. Chronometron allows you to make any enemy within range 2 suppressed for 1 round, alongside any affected summons being stunned instead. All enemies affected will take additional damage, even more if the character attacking them is mechanical. His passive ability is where I see more potential. At the start of his turn, any ally adjacent to Thothmek will gain the Time Splinter Mantle status effect. They will take significantly less damage from only the first attack they endure. After being attacked or at the end of the turn, they will lose the Time Splitter Mantle passive effect. Again, I haven't played too much of Thothmek. I just didn't have a lot of time to really do stuff on the test server, but I think he's quite interesting from the little I did try with him. I kind of want to try him against Wartarian and Guild Raid, but I personally just didn't have the energy to do it at this time. Where I think he'll definitely shine is, once again, LREs and Horde modes, just like Cyrus. Time Splinter Mantle does give some good additional survivability to your units, so I think it'll be quite useful in some of the higher end LREs, even if it only reduces the damage of the first hit a unit takes. Again though, both of these guys are coming from a place of limited playtesting, and Cyrus I've mainly used in the survival event, so I'm gonna be the first to say it, I'm not the most reliable on these. I know Nandy did a full video, and Nandy always does a good job, so if you're more curious, I would definitely go check his video out. The survival event overall, I think, is a lot better and more balanced than the Vin one was. Personally, I didn't play too much of the survival, but I kind of wish I did because it is quite fun. I'm not quite good at survival though, so the furthest I got was just before getting to the Mythic Ascension, which honestly I'm happy with. I'm kind of glancing over the survival only because there's a bigger fish to fry, that being Lionel Johnson, Primarch of the 1st Legion, and who will be our newest guild raid boss starting, I think, in June, or was it? It might have been July, I don't remember. I would need to reread the patch notes. For now, we will be able to face him in the Necrons versus Dark Angels campaign event if you can make it to Battle 30. Thankfully, I had a chance to try him in the test server, and I don't think he's as bad as Magnus, but he does have more power than Mortarion. He definitely will probably be a Psyker weak boss, even if there are these Watchers of the Dark that reduce psychic damage on the battlefield. I didn't really get the best footage, and I only did really one run, but I do want to discuss my thoughts. For Lionel Johnson, you have 2 side bosses like usual. The side bosses are Deathwing Terminator Bearquell and Inner Circle Companion Forecast, both of which have very unique boss fights. My recording was a little borked for the Bearquell fight, but what I can say is the gimmick is quite interesting. For the Bearquell fight, at the start of the battle, a random enemy Chaos unit is identified as Fallen. If you do not have a Chaos unit deployed, a random unit of yours will be designated Deathwing Quarry. Bearquell's side boss fight has some Deathwing Knights as additionals that you'll have to fight, who will deal additional damage alongside Bearquell to the Fallen or the Deathwing Quarry. Each time Bearquell is attacked by the Fallen, he'll lose a good chunk of health in addition to damage done. And if you don't have any Chaos units deployed, your Deathwing Quarry will do a good chunk of damage, just a little less than the Fallen would. Otherwise, Bearquell takes significantly less damage from all other attacks. Forecast's unique gimmick is Redemption of the Risen. Each time a friendly Dark Angel is defeated by a Chaos enemy, he'll lose a small chunk of health. If a friendly Dark Angel is defeated that way, Forecast and all remaining Dark Angels alive will start overwatching. As long as there's another friendly Dark Angel on the battlefield, Forecast and friendly adjacent Dark Angels will take significantly less damage. Again, I didn't do too many fights against these guys, but the side bosses are interesting, and they have a unique gimmick that I think will be quite interesting. Bearquell, I think, will definitely be the one easier to eliminate over Forecast, since eventually against Forecast you're just doing normal damage, but that's beside the point. Let's get on to the big man himself, Lionel Johnson. If you're interested in his attack order, fellow Tacticus creator Tactical Raven did a nice little infographic about that. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the video. If not, it might be a little hard to find, and I'm sorry, but the best I can do is go look at Tactical Raven's content. Overall, I think the Lion will be a fun fight. He definitely won't be an AdMech boss. He ends up doing way too much damage to anyone who's in melee, which also kind of punishes Rapid Assault Big Hit, which is why Neuro is probably going to be your go-to for this boss. It's not to say that you can't use RA though. Tactical Raven did get Custodes to work out against Lionel Johnson, and I'm going to show some of that footage that he shared with us. Thank you so much for this footage. I'm not great at guild raids by a long shot, and I only did one run against the Lion, so I'm glad someone actually did some good work. I will be leaving a link to his channel down in the description. Please, for the love of all that is good, if you haven't, check him out. Overall, patch 1.39 is quite interesting to me. It added a lot of cool things, and even though I have a bit of an inside loop being a Tacticus creator, I wasn't paying too much attention, so I was generally surprised by the Dawn of War collab, and it's a good one, and I'm very glad they're doing it. Patch 1.39 has a lot of other things that I did not cover, but I promise you other Tacticus creators have covered it in much greater detail than I have, and you would not struggle in finding good content for it. I want to thank you all so much for watching and being patient with me. I know I've been saying that a lot recently, but been genuinely hard trying to get back into a rhythm of posting every week, and I'm definitely struggling. I want to get back to posting every week, but I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not gonna make any promises as of now. I was hoping to get a code for this video, but unfortunately I just didn't have time to get things sorted, and it's an issue on my end, not on Snowprint's, so please do not blame Snowprint for not giving me a code. It is truly my fault. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you again next week. This is your host, Legend, signing off.